following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We have a fun show for you guys today, and everything has changed at the very last minute. Unfortunately, our featured guest, Matthew James Pateman from Let Loose, famous boy band, he's sick, he can't make it. So like I called our favorite music guy, who actually we're doing a full 2 hours with next week with a bunch of people, Mark Loverush in the UK. I said, hey, we need a guest. Can you come on? So he's going to come on, show us some new stuff. We're going to play some new music. And then we have our second guest, one of the best indie artists on planet Earth, David Martinez. So we're looking forward to that. But we do have a change. So everybody who helped promote the show, thank you so much. And we'll bring Matthew back another time. And in the meantime, let's say hi to our cool, outrageous man about town, Mr. Ron Russell with Astro.
Is he not the most beautiful boy in the world? He's my baby. Look how he kisses his old man. Hi, everybody.
And he follows Ron everywhere. Everywhere Ron goes. If Ron walks a step and stops, then he walks a step and stops.
But you know what? Dogs are the loyalest things in the world. They're better than people. If a dog hooks on to you and you're the master, they are with you till the day you die.
Yes.
They just love you and they want to be with you. I mean, if I got up now, went into the bedroom and laid in bed, he'd come and lay next to me. If I went in the living room and sat in a chair, he'd be on the back of the sofa. So no matter where I am, he is. That sort of devotion I get from, well, I don't want to give his name out because he's coming on the show now. And his husband might get smart.
No, we're going to have a good time, you guys, today. Hollywood, that's the way things go. In the world of television, not everything always works out the way you plan it. So we came up with a quick alternative plan. We want to thank Juan, our engineer at W4CY, for being real flexible to help me move everything around, because I had already sent him all the stuff on Monday. And all is good, and we'll have a good time. Want to tell everybody again, I'm bringing it up every week. Pop Goes to Collector, you guys. It's a book I wrote on collecting Funko Pops, the Funko Enthusiast Guide to Collecting, Displaying, and Enjoying the Craze. You can get it in an Amazon, in an actual physical book, or you can get a Kindle. It's $14.99 for the book, $7.99 for the Kindle. We want to say hi to everybody in the chat room. We have Stefan Bell is in the chat room. Our guest, Mark Loverush, is in the chat room. He'll be coming on in a couple of minutes. Cindy Lady Lake is in the chat room. And Jimmy, do you have the YouTube link? Yes, I have the YouTube. Oh, you mean for people to watch? I'm not sure what that means, so let me know what that means. But yes. And I was going to say something else, and now I forgot what.
What do you mean you forgot?
I forgot. I'm getting old, you guys. I'm getting old, but I did want to bring up, so Ron and I watched 3 cheesy movies in the last couple of days, and I loved every one of them. I mean, cheese like you can't even imagine, but old cheesy movies, not like the new cheesy ones. So we watched 3 movies. One of them actually is not cheesy, and I actually loved it. But for anybody who likes, especially movies in the water, because all these movies take place in the water, the first one we watched was a movie called Shark's Treasure. And it stars Cornell Wilde, who's like an older star from the 50s and the 60s,
No,
40s and 50s.
Wilde goes back to the 40s.
40s and 50s, stars Cornell Wilde.
Cornell Wilde had his break in a movie called Leave It to Heaven. with Gene Tierney. Fabulous movie. I suggest you get it or find it and look at it. Beautiful color. The sets are gorgeous. It's shot in Arizona and all. It's just a beautiful movie. But it's a tragedy, and it's a very impressive film. And that's called Leave It to Heaven. Leave Her to Heaven. Okay.
Okay, so that was the first film we watched. It's really good, you guys. Cornell Wilde probably is the most famous person in it, and I enjoyed it a lot. Then after that one, we watched. Hang on, I got a copy. How do I do this? I have to send this.
Tab Hunter, my buddy, and Linda Darnell in a real stinker. What was it called?
We didn't watch Tab Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't one of the ones I brought up.
Well, Tab Hunter and Linda Darnell. She's the older woman in love with him. They get stranded on an island.
Oh, I didn't bring up that one. I brought up all the Shark Attack ones. Okay, we watched another one with Tab Hunter and Linda Darnell. Tell them about that one. I don't remember the name of it.
I don't know the title. I forgot it. Maybe Island, something like that. Anyway, because of the morality of the 1950s, you could not have a woman 25 years older than a man get the man. So they had to come up with a way that Tab Hunter was on the island with Linda Darnell having sex, of course.
Oh, yeah, that was a good movie.
And having a big romance. And then an airplane flies over and it crashes with another a man in it. I knew right away the man was the setup because they couldn't have Tab Hunter with Linda Darnell because in reality, she was 25 or 30 years older than he was. Today, that doesn't play anymore. Today, we have many marriages that are years apart.
Yes, like us. So then the other movie we watched, because I picked out the ones with sharks, you guys. Sharks or more like killings and wild, fun sci-fi stuff. So the second movie we saw was called City Beneath the Sea. It came out in 1953. It starred Robert Ryan and Anthony Quinn. And for 1953, it had really good effects and stuff. It's about two guys looking for a treasure, and the treasure is in a boat, in a big boat that capsized and sunk, and it's in a sea, underwater sea. And anyway, it was really good. And Anthony Quinn is someone I've always liked, and Robert Ryan, who I've seen in a bunch of movies, but Ron said he was a really big actor back in the day.
Robert Ryan was a leading man. He played with Joan Crawford. He played with Barbara Stanwyck. He played with all the big stars, the female stars.
Yeah, I liked it. And then the third movie we watched, that was the cheesiest one of all. And it's probably the one I liked second best because I liked the Cornell Wilde one. But it was called Beyond Atlantis. And basically, one reason I liked it for all you horror movie fans, it had Sid Haig was one of the stars when he was really young. And everybody knows what an icon he is. It also
George Nader.
starred George Nader and Patrick Wayne, who's John Wayne's son. Who Ron had actually met before. But this movie is really fun, and I'm not sure even if we saw these movies on Tubi. I'm not sure where we found them because we watched one of them, and then at the end of the movie, another movie just started, and that's how we found this other one. But it was cool, and they were trying to steal these pearls from this island of people who lived on the island that had these really big eyes. It was like a sci-fi, movie, kind of like sci-fi with.
No, they were the people that used to be in Atlantis.
Yeah.
Can you get that?
I got that, but they didn't explain why they had big eyes.
They were Atlanteans, and they got on that island after Atlantis sank.
But these were all three of these movies were a lot of fun. The most realistic one was the one with Cornell Wilde because that kind of stuff could really happen.
The interesting part about all of this is the scripts were written in an hour. The actors just read their lines and went home. Back then, you could do that because the studios funded the film. Today, you can't do that because these films would never make it. They wouldn't get funding. So the studio was a wonderful idea. I wish that we were still with the studio so my work would get done and Jimmy's also.
But you do see a lot of cheesy movies nowadays, too.
What?
There's a lot of cheesy movies nowadays. They don't get funded by studios, but they get funded.
No, they get funded, but it takes a long time.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Whereas, when you belong to a studio, the studio gets the script. Usually they came from a book or from Broadway. And now you have a script. You put the script together and you figure out who should play in it, who's going to be the biggest attraction, and who's going to really do it well. And then you shoot it. And then it goes out. Don't forget, we didn't have television. Radio was, radio. If you wanted to see your favorite star, you had to go to the movies. The movies changed twice a week in my day. Every Wednesday, a new movie started. So we would go to the movies, maybe Monday and on Friday.
Let's see if we change Fridays now. So
Huh?
they changed that because nowadays they come out on Fridays.
Yeah, my day, Wednesday, was midweek. That's when they changed the film. It was wonderful because it got you out of the house twice. And the theater was filled with people. The only thing I regret is they smoked. So you would sit in a movie theater watching a movie with clouds of smoke.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that.
And when you left the theater, you smelled like a cigar. Anyway, that was then.
I would hate that.
Well, I didn't even
They used
know.
to do it on the planes, too, and I couldn't
Yeah,
stand that.
I didn't notice it. I mean, believe me, I did not notice it. I would go to the movies with my sister. I didn't smoke. I was too little. And my sister would be smoking away. If I went with my mother to the movies, she would be smoking away. So we never really thought anything of it. But today, filmmaking is so much more difficult. Actors are not professional. Some. There's a lot of bitchiness going on, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of inconsiderate thinking. So it's hard to get a film today out and have it out to make money.
But we're going to have a bunch coming out soon.
Yeah, you could squeeze out a film, but will it make money? So it's a tough business. It's a business that if I were young, I would not go into. If I were 20 years old, as I went into it, I went into this business when I was 19. I would never today at 19 go into this business. I would probably be a hitman or a male prostitute. A good job. A job with a future.
Love it. So I was going to say so. So first we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Last week's show's doing really, really well with John Jarrett and Jimmy Constable from the UK boy band 911. The show's doing really well. We want to tell everybody you can listen to the Jimmy Star Show on Acast, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Amazon Prime, and 360 TVN. I also want to thank everybody for checking out Collector's Corner with Jimmy Star. My last version, I did a show on the Toxic Avenger. I'm super excited because on August, I think 29th, the Toxic Avenger is actually coming out. It's a recreation of the 1984 film, The Toxic Avenger, done by Troma and Lloyd Kaufman. But this new one has like huge stars, Kevin Bacon and Peter Dinklage, and I don't know, all kinds of huge big people in it. And I'm very much excited about seeing what it's going to take a look like when they took like a movie that they made for no money and now they go out and make like $100 million version. I'm curious to see what it's gonna be like, but it should be a lot of fun. So check out Collector's Corner with Jimmy Star on YouTube, and check out our publication, Dark Frights Magazine, darkfrights.com. Actually, in chat room, what's up? B. Claudia has joined us. Cindy Lady Lake is in there. Stefan Bella's in there. Capella. Hello, Capella. We love you. Capella's been on the show a couple of times. Great music. Mark Loverush is in there. We're going to bring him on in like 2 minutes. And what else do we want to tell anybody? Anything else exciting we got going? We're going to be taking off for 2 weeks at the end of the month of August. Once August gets here, you guys, we're going to the East Coast for a little trip to get away and just get out of the desert. It's freaking hot as hell.
Just get back to the East Coast where it's really the place to be.
And so we're going to be taking off and going to visit Ron's daughter, Deirdre. And we've got a great show next week with Mark Loverush Schneider and a bunch of the 90s phenomenal 90s dance artists.
He just can't stay away from it. No matter how I try, I've sent him letters saying, please stop calling me, stop sending me flowers, stop sending me letters. It's an impossibility. I'm with Jimmy, like how many years? 13 years?
Yes.
And Mark is with his husband, I don't know how many years. And why ruin two good marriages? But the man just doesn't stop. No, really, he's disgusting. I mean, ugh. He'll have any excuse to come on this show. The guy that was supposed to come on, Mark gave him Visine in his tea.
So
And
he
the
would get
guy's
sick.
got diarrhea and he's sick as a dog. Just so that Mark could be on the show to be with me. I mean, really.
That's hilarious. I love it. I think that's so much fun. Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and bring on Mark anyway. I think he should be there since he's here. I think he's there. And hello, how are you?
Look at how cute he is. He's so cute. He's like mama's little baby boy. He's so cute. Butchie, 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 butchie.
How are you?
I have a question right off the bat. So how are we? Sometimes we're Mark Loverush and sometimes we add Schneider to the end. Am I not supposed to use the Schneider part?
No, I'm not fussed with that.
Okay.
I keep screwing his name up now. I keep calling him Mark Lovelace.
Mark
Sorry if I look really tired. But I
Wait,
What?
she's going to introduce us. Go ahead. Go ahead. He said, sorry if I look really tired, but I have to introduce you. This is going to be great.
I know. Summer. Hey, Summer. So cutie pie.
So now what kind of dog is Summer?
she's a Pomchi
Pomchi. So that's Pomeranian and what's the
and
G?
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Okay. Pomchi.
Was it a hard birth?
I'm tired, Ron. I've forgotten how hard it is to look after a puppy.
Well, you have to be a good mother now. It's
You're going to
okay.
be a good mother anyway. She's absolutely beautiful. So now how did you decide on a Pomchi?
Well, the last dog we had a 19 years, Amber, and she was a Jackchi.
Okay.
And we was looking because I work from home a lot, and I just said to Lee, because he works as a nurse, as you know, and I just said I'm getting a bit lonely, and I think I need a bit of company, and I think it's about time now because she died 4 years ago to get another dog. And we saw her, and we was just like, that's the one.
Now is she
And she
potty
was-
trained yet? How old is she?
No, she's only 10 weeks old.
Okay. So
9
she's
weeks
not-
old.
How big does she get?
She's only,
That's it?
yeah,
Well,
she's
that-
going to
no,
get a
she'll
tiny
get
bit
bigger.
bigger.
How
A
big?
tiny bit
How
bigger.
how much does she weigh now?
Under a kilo, just under a kilo. So about,
A kilo in
I don't know
pounds.
what a kilo is in pounds.
Hey, B. Claudio, how much is a kilo in pounds? And how big will she get? How many kilos big will she get?
Not much bigger.
Oh, that's perfect. That's why I like them when they're little.
Yeah, that's what I
Literally
want.
the size of a Chihuahua, I reckon.
I love that. She's
Yeah.
absolutely number one. Congratulations, proud Papa and Mama. She's absolutely beautiful. Does she walk on a leash yet?
No, not yet. She's just had her first jab today, and then she's
Okay.
going to have the second one in 4 weeks' time, and then she's allowed out 1 week later.
Oh, so she can't even go out yet.
No, not yet.
But I could see an insane father there because I'm crazy with my dog. You know, Astro's with me always.
Oh,
I'm pissed off that we're not bringing her with us to New York.
Yeah.
But even though Astro's 7 pounds, he would fit in a little cage. But I don't want to put him in a cage. I want him to be on my lap the whole
Yeah.
flight, and that's not allowed.
No.
But they're trying to change that law, the dog lovers, where if the dog is a certain weight and trained, it can sit on your lap.
Yeah.
And then I'll be taking Astro. Only
he's
thing-
staring at us right now.
He went to his bed to sleep.
Let me just put her back in her bed.
Okay,
and
put her back in her bed. So you guys, just so you know, Capella has told me that under 1 kilo is 2.2 pounds. So he's only 2.2 pounds. That's
Yes,
super
it's
little.
literally a bag of sugar.
Now, Mark, you have the beard and the mustache.
So I've got a story
It
there.
doesn't fool people.
We was watching a film the other day with do you know Ben Aldridge?
No, I have to look
He
him
was
up.
in that film.
I
He
know
was
you
in
want
that
to be a butch top
movie
man.
with,
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll look him up. What movie was it?
Mark Frost.
He was in a movie with Jonathan Groff. It was a bit of a weird movie. I can't remember what it was now. It's like a gay horror movie. Anyway, I was watching the film, and Lee said, "Look at that guy there with the beard. Why can't you grow your beard back?" So I had to.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, I like it. I like the beard. So
I like
Ron
it
doesn't
too.
look impressed. You do?
I like it. You look like a swashbuckling from the 1940s Robin Hood movies. You could be Robin Hood. Don't do that. That makes you look like a sissy Mary Fairy.
no, he's kind of like Errol Flynn looking though.
Yeah, no, he was doing the gay kiss.
You ain't the first one who said that to me before. Someone said that to me before.
Listen,
Okay.
Has your husband gotten smart to us yet?
Smart doors.
Is he on to
What, for
us?
the dog?
No, is he on to you guys' love affair?
No.
So
he's pushing it, Ron. He wants us to get together.
What is that?
he said he's pushing it. He wants you to get together. Which you guys, just so everybody knows, so Mark's husband is Lee Thomas, and he was part of 2/3, the lead singer of 2/3, and we might even play a video later because I got it in time. Because we're going to play some music since we have him on, and we didn't prepare anything since he's just being a good sport and joined us, said he would join us in the last hour. So he's being a good sport, and we so appreciate that.
Mark is a very delightful person. He's one of my favorite personalities. I always have fun when Mark is on because he has a good sense of humor.
And
he lets me make believe all that love shit.
So they say we look like a swashbuckler. They think they agree with that you look like a swashbuckler.
A sword, and
do you know who Errol Flynn is? I mean, he's
yeah. I know Errol Flynn. Yeah.
He doesn't because he doesn't have a beard. He just has like a
no,
mustache.
he had a beard.
So he had a beard
He had a mustache in Robin Hood.
Oh, in Robin Hood. So you could be Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Mark,
Robin
Hood.
When I did Peaky Blinders, I had the proper like moustache and everything for it.
I had a mustache and a beard, and my mother. We went to my mother's house for dinner, and my mother said, "Shave." I said, "Why?" She said, "You look like a Puerto Rican killer." You know who Puerto Ricans are?
Oh,
You froze.
you there? You're breaking up.
So she said, "I look like a Puerto Rican killer."
Anyway,
And
so
I thought that was good because I might get work.
So Capella said it's way past your bedtime at 8:00, and so you're definitely being good sports since you're always in bed at 8:00. You guys, Capella has been on the show twice. They're fabulous, and they have a great song that I don't know. You have many songs that you've remixed for Capella, right?
So yeah, Stay Mine's out right now, but we've got
Stay Mine.
two more new remixes out this Friday from Jamie Hughes and Seamus J. It's bubbling and bubbling and bubbling. It's but we've just got so much going on at the moment. I'm just living in a bubble at the moment, especially with the dog now. It's like I feel like a zombie.
You have to train the dog to sit in like a carry bag, like a nice bag or something on you. So that when you go places, he'll be used to like being that's what we didn't do. We didn't get our dog as a puppy. He's a rescue, so he was already 2. So he already had all these bad habits. But he walks on a leash great, though.
Astro has no bad habits.
I know, he has no bad habits.
He doesn't. What bad habits does he have?
I don't know. I was walking through the mall and he's shitting on the floor.
That's not his fault. I mean, if you had to shit and you were walking in the mall, you've shit in your pants many a time in the mall because you couldn't get to the bathroom. You would
many times.
I'd see you running. I'd see you running to the bathroom, and the turds falling out of your shorts.
Right, we both had that once.
I have to say, I watched last week's show and I was absolutely blown away. Jimmy, but John Garrett, I'm a huge Wall Creek fan.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Jared, yes, isn't he? And so he actually sent me a private link to see his new movie that's not out in America yet. So he sent me a private link to see it, and it looks where he plays a rock star. I'll send it. You can see, so you can watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm a big fan too. The show's doing great, and I'm a huge 911 fan. So thank you so much. I really got a kick out of it. And And I want to get Robbie Williams. So do you know Robbie Williams? I know that's a big get, that he's like the biggest pop star in history, but I'm going to get him though one of these days. We're going to get Robbie Williams.
And I'm trying to get you E17.
And I really want E17.
I know.
They're like fabulous. I was listening to them this morning. And the other one that I would really like, do you know Gabrielle? I would love to get Gabrielle.
I don't know her personally, but I think Gabrielle might be up for it.
I would love to have Gabrielle, and
I'll try and find out. I'll try and find out the details for you to reach out.
And you also, I contacted Luke Goss once, and he said he would do the show after he did a movie. But then the next time I contacted him, he didn't respond to me. But I would love to get either Luke or Matt Goss on the show from Bros. You guys,
I know Matt's manager, so I'll message him.
So I love it. So you got a new song that just came out. We'll play some music, and then we'll come back and joke around.
Yeah.
You did a remix of Gilbert Sullivan. You want to do that one first?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about it.
So Gilbert's obviously in my day job, I promote dance music, and their management company came to me with Ooh Baby from 1973, asked for some remix suggestions, and then basically pitched a load, and they chose Love Foundation and Rough Loaders. And when we heard it, I mean, I was familiar with the track from 1973 anyway, but I just thought rather than just using the full song, it was just the ooh baby, da 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 da, ooh baby, da 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 da. So I just wanted to use that hook line. So we've just literally transformed it into a huge, like an old kind of like, I don't know how you describe Gilbert O'Sullivan's music. Pop.
You guys, so first of all, so Gilbert Sullivan, you guys, he did that song Alone Again, naturally, right? In that Gilbert Sullivan. He also had, so I wrote down, I looked it up real quick. He had another song called Claire, another one, Get Down. He had 16 top 40 records and 6 number ones. I don't think I'd ever heard Ooh Baby before, but definitely Alone Again is like a staple in America. Like everybody knows that song from the 70s. A huge, huge, huge song. So how did you hook up with Gilbert O'Sullivan? How did you make that happen?
So, like I said, they chose me and Julian to do the remix, and then we did the remix, and then for about a month or so, we're just going back and forth, just making sure it's perfect. They wanted to add a female vocal to it as well, and then we've just literally started. It got released about 3 weeks ago, and it's getting so much support in Ibiza, lots of radio play, and it's starting to take off to be a big summer anthem. So, and it's quite clever because, like Ron, you said to take an older record and kind of give it a new lease of life.
Wake me up when you're
he's saying that. So this is a song from the 70s. Like you told them to take old songs and redo them, and so this is what they did.
What song is it?
It's called Ooh Baby, Ooh Baby Baby, Ooh Baby, just Ooh Baby from Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Oh baby.
You're gonna hear it anyway, but it sounds totally different the way they did it.
Oh, I think the lyric on that one. Oh baby, oh baby.
It's a ooh baby, I love the way you do. Ooh baby, da 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 da. Ooh baby, da 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 da. It's kind of like I don't know how you describe his music. I want to say like a bit of funk pop, I would call it.
Yes, but everybody knows that song Alone Again. Even you'll even know it.
I know.
And Get Down was huge.
Oh yeah, Get Down. It's a big one too.
Get Down. I knew Get Down.
So you guys did the remake. It's doing really good. I want to, we never actually really mentioned your partner since you're half of Love Foundation. Let's give props to Julian Napolitano. Yeah. Is that how we pronounce it? Napolitano.
Napolitano.
So Julian is half of Soul Seekers. I paid some little notes so we could give him some props since he hasn't been on the show. He had a top 10 hit called Perfection featuring Danny Minogue, huge star Danny Minogue. Rough Loaders is his project, and the Rough Loaders Spotify gets 3 million monthly listeners, and he's also remixed stuff for Rihanna and the Spice Girls.
Yeah, that's correct.
So he's a big deal. Obviously, Mark's a big deal. Gilbert O'Sullivan's track is called Ooh Baby. This is the remix. You introduce it for us, and Juan, we're going to play the one that says Ooh Baby by Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Okay, so this is the very big summer anthem from Gilbert O'Sullivan, Ooh Baby, Love Foundation, UK, and Rough Loaders remix.
Yay, that's Ooh Baby, everybody. From Gilbert O'Sullivan, done by Love Foundation and Rough Loaders. So
Do you
tell me
remember the track?
huh?
Do you
I
remember it?
loved it. Oh yeah, I remember the other one, yes, but I listened. I actually had to listen to it. I listened to it earlier to see what it was like, and I listened to like all his other songs because again, Alone Again was like really big here. If I can remember it, and I was like a little kid when that came out.
Yeah.
I think I was like 6. I was 9 years old when it came out, and and if I can remember it, I was one of those little kids who used to sit by the radio and try and write down the lyrics to all the songs, when you heard them
God.
sing them along. I was really a fucking dork.
But he uses was.
I'm not a dork
He
anymore.
uses was. Do you love it?
He's not.
I'm no
So how you
longer
been?
those because I don't know who the hell he's talking about. And, that the era that he's talking about, I was a full-grown man with children, teenage
40,
children,
50,
maybe.
60, 70. You would have been 33.
I was 33 years old.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
You're the same age as him, though. As
music,
Gilbert O'Sullivan.
yeah, but music is not important to fathers at 33. Your family is, you're an adult. You're very grown up. It's now that I'm 85 that I've become stupid and young.
Stupid and young.
There's nothing wrong with that one.
But no, how old are you, Mark?
I'm 46.
Oh, you're making a living out of this, so therefore you're involved. But if you were straight and had kids and you weren't in this business, would you know music from the 60s and 70s?
I don't know. Well, like as I said, as I get older, I'm going backwards with my music. So I think it's just a thing. You get introduced to things. I mean, when I grew up, my mum used to listen to Motown and things like that. So it's kind of like I've always had that older kind of music, but not that.
Never guessed you as 46, though. You don't look 46. You don't look anywhere near 46. So good genes.
Botox does, I'm joking. I would
Wait,
never.
and how long have you and Lee been together?
Oh God! So 2001. So we've been together 24 years this year.
Oh, that's a long time.
How long?
24 years.
That is long.
That's why
It's
he's
long.
letting you.
Yeah.
That's why he's letting you cheat with Ron.
I was with my first guy for 46 years. Imagine 40, and then he died on me.
Yeah.
If he didn't die, I'd still be with him. But 46 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah. It's a
Very
long
long.
time.
We
It's a
grew up together. We were 19 when we met, and we grew up. We learned everything. We learned how to get an apartment, decorate, fend for yourself. It was nice.
So now
I think with me and Lee though, because like I was 21 when I met him and he was 28, 29. I think we met at the right time because we saved each other. We was both coming from very bad times in our life. And
I firmly believe that.
we met at the right time.
Being with Sal, the reason I never got HIV is because I was with Sal. But my friends, most of my friends who used to switch, guys, they're dead.
Yeah.
They go with HIV because they didn't have a partner at home. And
Yeah.
my guy was Italian and a little bit connected, so I had to watch myself.
Yeah.
I couldn't even think of cheating. He warned me. He said,
do you know what little bit connected means? He means like connected to the mob.
yeah,
No, seriously.
Really?
They're Italian. They're Italian. So
good.
really, he was friends of the mob, and he said to me, "I'll kill you."
there's a movie called The Jersey Boys.
Yeah.
It was a Broadway.
I've not watched it. I've heard of it.
It's a movie. It's a really good movie. And we were at the theater watching the movie. And in the theater, they have like this little warehouse where they put all the goods they steal, so they can sell them. And Ron was like, "That was my life when I was young. That's what we did too."
Yeah.
He's like, "This is a movie about my life."
I have to say, Ron, you've probably experienced some stuff.
Oh, you've probably experienced a lot of different. Yeah, he's really lived his life.
I have a lot of people that want me to write a book.
Well, you should.
I said, not yet, because the people I would have to write about are still alive, and I won't do that. my life was not traditional. It was not ordinary, and it was not what everybody does. My life was gangsters and movie stars, high parties, high on the hog living, rich one day, poor the next. I remember Sal came home one time in a limo, and I said, "What the fuck are you doing in a limo?" He said, "I won it." I said, "What do you mean you won it?" He said, "I won it in the game." I said, "What are we going to do with a limo? Who's going to drive it?" He said, "I got the driver. I pay." Now, about a week goes by, and Sal comes home late. And I said, "How come you're late?" He said, "Oh, because I missed my train."
Because he lost the limo.
He said, "I missed my train."
See, I think
limo. He said, "I lost the limo." So that was. I lived in a luxury building, and came home and found my furniture in the street. The garbage men came and took my furniture and put it in the street. And I called Sal. I said, "Sal, our furniture's in the street." He said, "Don't worry about it. I just sent somebody over with our rent." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Oh, I forgot to pay the rent for 3 or 4 months." he hated to pay bills. He hated to pay anybody. You know what he used to do? He used to get the envelope, write the check, put the check in the envelope, wet his finger, and where the stamp goes, make it dirty. So he could say the stamp fell off and they returned the envelope. I mean, it was a life.
That's a good one for people now to use.
It was a life of deceit and ecstasy. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
And then being an actor was difficult because I had to balance my gangster lifestyle with my. Anyway, one day I will write a book.
I want to go back. Earlier you said like you had a proper mustache in Peaky Blinders. Like what did you do in Peaky? Like what did you do in Peaky Blinders?
I was only when I was doing the acting stuff. I was only like a supporting artist. So, like I said, I was lucky enough to get featured roles in like Peaky Blinders. I mean, there's a scene in season 5 of Peaky Blinders where they introduce Oswald Mosley, and basically there's a ballet scene, and I had my hair exactly the same. When my hair's all slicked and it looks when I'm proper like into character. And they put me literally 2 seats behind Oswald Mosley. And when you look, I've got to send you the picture, but when you see there's me just behind and Oswald Mosley there, and you would just think there was 2 twins in the room. We just looked identical. And it was just crazy. But that is like, for me, that is my favorite era of period, the 1940s.
So Peaky, is that a big show in the UK? It's a huge show here. It must be there because they shoot it in the UK, right?
Huge.
Yeah.
They're brilliant film now.
A TV show called Peaky Blinders, and it's got who's the star of Peaky Blinders?
Cillian Murphy.
Yes, Cillian Murphy from Batman. He played somebody in Batman.
Yeah, he played the one with the sack.
Yeah, with the thing. Yeah, with the sack on his head. What other shows have you been in?
Bridgerton.
Oh, really?
What else?
Okay.
Bridgerton. Poldark.
I don't know that. What is it called?
Poldark.
Oh yes, okay, yes, I do know that. Poldark, okay.
The remake though, not the old one. The remake.
Original,
I would have been born there. Sam Mendes' 1917 was one of the soldiers going over the trench.
Isn't that the one with like Liam Gallagher or Liam Neeson or I don't know, not Liam Neeson. One of the boys. Oh no, Harry Styles I think was in it.
No, that was Dunkirk. So
Dunkirk. Yeah, you're right.
1970 is the one with the film where it was like almost shot in one take.
Yes.
That was up for the awards a couple of years ago. I've done quite a lot, but I stopped it because it was just the music took over.
We have a new music show here, and it actually has which one of the guys from One Direction passed away recently, or actually
Liam Payne.
Liam Payne, yeah. So we have a show. It's called Building the Band, and it's hosted by AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys, and the judges are Nicole Scherzinger, Liam Payne, and Kelly Rowland. You know, and they build a band, and it was actually it was one of the better shows that I've seen because I actually watched the whole thing in one sitting, and
that's on Netflix, isn't it?
good. Yeah, it's on Netflix here,
Yeah.
and I don't know what it is there, but it's a good show, for people to watch, especially if you kind of like the whole that kind of thing. It's like the voice and stuff like that. But I think Liam Payne was freaking totally like murdered though, because he was like gonna spill out too much shit about P. Diddy. Because nobody falls out of a hotel room window when they're not like on drugs and stuff and like dies.
I just
fall.
love seeing all the Facebook stuff with P. Diddy. Every time there's like something. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I think that's just interesting though. I love it all. But P. Diddy, I guess now he's not even news anymore. He's not even on nothing happened to anybody because it's too powerful. The people that are involved are too powerful.
Yeah.
You can't have it. So
and actually, what's the point? I mean, what people do in the privacy of a club or the privacy of an establishment is their business. It's not everybody's business. But, people want the dirt. They want to know who's fucking who and who's a fag.
It's different, though, because they were trafficking kids.
Well, you know what? That's a legal thing. That should not be a public enjoyment. Oh, let's see who the kids were.
They say, though, that P. Diddy was at the bottom of the realm. Everybody thinks he's at the top, but that he's actually at the bottom, and like the people at the top are way bigger.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention who they say they are, just in case they listen to this and like come back and sue me.
The top one is probably Hillary Clinton and drag.
Never know. You never know.
Because she's a dyke.
Oh, actually, Capella says the show was great too. The Building the Band, I really liked it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. One of the guys I liked who didn't get picked was a Power Ranger. I thought he was like pretty good. He should have got picked. I love the Power Rangers too. Do you guys have the Power Rangers there?
We do, yeah.
I love the Power Rangers. I think they're a lot of fun. All right, so then you have another song I took from you, and it is, what did I write? Gilbert O'Sullivan was one. Oh, the one with Paul Oakenfold. So I have this friend, Ozzy, he knows him. Her name's Ozzy Aziz, and she used to be a dance artist. She charted on Billboard a couple times, and now she's a yoga person, and she has like a yoga retreat, but she was a really popular dance artist back in the day. And we were at the Dance Star USA Awards, and the Dance Star USA Awards, it was so much fun. We walked the red carpet with Paris Hilton and Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys and Carmen Electra and everybody. And Paul Oakenfold got an award, so we got to meet him, and then we went to hit the club afterwards and hang out with him where he was actually DJing at the club. So you have a song that you did. You remixed the Paul Oakenfold song featuring Matt Goss from Bros, you guys. I don't know if Americans know who Bros is.
This is from 2011. So Paul asked, well, this is like my former dance group, Loverush UK. He asked us to do a remix of Firefly, and he ended up using our remix as the original for the video and stuff. And then it got to #1 in the club chart. And then Matt Goss personally called me and asked me to perform at the Royal Albert Hall with him as a DJ. So I literally come on the stage, I was a DJ, and he sings the song. And it was just a surreal moment because, like, for me, just to do the Royal Albert Hall, I mean, the Royal Albert Hall is legendary. But it was, and then it's doing well. It's had like 2 million views on YouTube, and just to work with Paul, to do a track with Paul Oakenfold is massive.
And he's huge. Back in the day, I don't know if he's still as big as he was then, but back in the day, that was like top 5. If you laid a list of the top 5 DJs in the world, he was always on the list. And,
he's still.
And then Matt Goss, you guys, has a brother, Luke Goss, and together they used to be Bros. And then Matt Goss is the musician, and Luke Goss is a big actor. He does a lot of films and stuff. And so it's cool. So all right, so Juan, we're gonna play the one that says Paul Oakenfold, Firefly. You introduce it for us, and we'll be right back.
This is Paul Oakenfold, Firefly, and I'm going to say it's the Mark Loverush remix.
There you go.
Revealing
Yay, that was
That's a good one.
Firefly, Paul Oakenfold, and Matt Goss. I love that one actually a lot. Like I could see that. I can't believe you did that such a long time ago, and it's still super relevant now. Like I could see that being a hit right now.
Yeah. I might speak to Paul actually about re-releasing. Have you ever had Paul on the show?
No,
I'll ask him.
I don't even know if he would even. He probably wouldn't even remember me, but he might remember my friend Ozzy though, because she's like smoking hot and was wearing almost no clothes. You have to see. Look, you can look her up, Ozzy Aziz. She's very, very cool, and she's a lot of fun. And she used to record with Bon Jovi Entertainment, and it's Tony Bon Jovi. He's a big producer who helped the real Bon Jovi get going because he's a cousin. And we went to their studio. It's in Florida. Ron and I did, and we met. Who did we meet there?
Wrestling.
Yeah, Wendy Moten. We met Wendy Moten, who's a really big R&B singer here. She was supposed to be the next Whitney Houston, but it didn't really go that way. But she's still a great singer.
Yeah.
And we also met Quentin Aaron, who was the big black guy actor who was in Blind Side with Sandra Bullock, where she won her Academy Award. Guy who becomes a football player.
Amazing film. Yeah.
But yeah, I have to say, like you, like we're very fortunate. Ron, together and separately, we've all been fortunate to really meet some really like freaking amazing people, because there's almost not a movie that comes on TV or a TV show that one of us hasn't met somebody on it. Like we were watching these old movies the other night, and Ron's like, I've met him. We even watched the movie that we watched last night, and it had what's the guy's name?
George.
No, George Nader, but not George Nader, John Wayne's son. Patrick Wayne, and he's like 80-something years old. I'm going to actually see if I can find him to get him on the show. He's John Wayne's son, but he was a big actor in his own right. So I got an email address to contact him. So I'm going to see if we can get him on the show.
Good looking.
Have you watched I Know What You Did Last Summer yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet. We actually had a guy on here a couple weeks ago who made like one-of-a-kind cool art for them. He's an actor. Did you like it? It's good? Okay. I'm always a little afraid with all these like remakes because, they're doing all these remakes in America right now that are like 30 years old. Like they're getting ready to do The Devil Wears Prada 2. And they just did Happy Gilmore 2. And like everybody's saying it's like the worst piece of shit ever, because the first one came out 30 years ago.
I heard they're going to do Basic Instinct, and I think that is one film you should just not touch.
Don't touch. We just watched that recently, actually. Basic Instinct we watched recently.
You can't change. You can't do it.
Plus, there's still...
And Prada. Now, Prada's not going to be the same. You know why?
Yeah.
The fucking wokes are doing it. It's all woke. I gotta sit there and watch. We must be friends with black people. We must be friends with Spanish people. We must marry black people. The fuck do you? Mind your business about my life. I'll do what I want. Just give me a movie that's fun. All the clothing is designed by woke. So I don't even want to go see it because I'll throw up.
Yeah.
And we have that problem.
Movies don't have stories anymore.
They have messages instead of stories.
Political. It's all political.
I don't know if you guys have Disney. Like Disney's bombing here because they have a political message instead of just doing a good story. I like to watch movies. We want to see a good story. I have a bunch of movies I'm working on.
It's the actor's preference. Meryl Streep is definitely an outrageous Democrat, and she is totally woke. So the film is going to be her choice. Otherwise, she wouldn't do it. And that's wrong.
Yeah.
You should get an actor or an actress to play a part that the script talks about.
I wonder what it'll even be about, though. What can they even make it about 30 years later?
Well, they'll make it political somehow.
Anyway.
I think a lot of for me, I just feel like I wish the films would go more back to like the 90s or the 80s. The thrillers, the really cool thrillers that used to be so
fun.
You see, and do you know what I mean? Could like Seven and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Just get some.
I like
movie back.
I like all of that. Seven was a great movie. Seven was a great movie, and like most of my movies that are on my list of favorite movies came out in the 80s, actually.
Yeah, mine for me, like Basic Instinct. I love Sliver. I just love all them kind of.
Yes, so you like Sharon Stone?
Love Sharon Stone.
That's
she
funny.
Could turn straight.
He said Sharon Stone could turn him straight. Ron knows all kinds of stories about her because his daughter used to work with her.
Wow.
which was funny.
My daughter was her assistant.
Really? Wow.
Well, my daughter was an assistant to quite a few stars. And then she said,
Wow.
I hate them all.
You actually what?
They're all a bunch of narcissistic, self-centered, self-indulgent screwballs. I got stories about Sharon Stone you wouldn't believe. Not bad stories. I mean, she wasn't a bad person, but she's just
Great actress, though.
she's a star, and she behaved like a star, very demanding, and felt that that she was better than ordinary people,
Yeah.
and that whatever she said had to do. I can't tell you the story because
No.
I thought it was sworn not to ever divulge it.
No.
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, I remember going to LA once when we went to LA for a holiday, and
One thing my
Hang
daughter,
on, wait.
Lee
Go ahead.
always spends about 2 hours getting ready. So I said, I'm just going for a walk, and I went for a walk at the Hollywood Hills trying to find Sharon Stone's house.
There you go.
the one thing my daughter did say about Sharon Stone was that she never wore makeup and was beautiful,
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's a bit cruel, basically, because she had that tumor, and then obviously she lost her speech and everything, and then she's had to start again. And it's just basically, it's horrible what Hollywood does to you. It's it's the same with Kathleen Turner.
Yes.
It's terrible.
So
It's a horrible industry to be involved. I think it's the worst industry, to be honest with you.
oh no, it is really bad. They're just brutal.
Yeah.
Like, they're brutal with everybody. The other one who gets it bad is the girl from Single White Female. I forgot her name now.
What's her name? Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda?
Yeah. No,
Bridget Fonda.
Bridget Fonda. Yeah, poor Bridget Fonda.
Yeah.
She's just really.
She was a very beautiful young girl.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. I met her up at Lee's office.
Bridget Fonda. Yeah,
She was Jane Fonda's niece. And she was a very skinny girl, pretty girl. And Lee, when I said to Lee, she was in the office with Lee, and she came out of the office. I met her. Hello.
Right.
And I said to Lee, what's she like? And he said, she's a fucking nut.
I think there are a lot of nuts, but there's okay being nuts as long as you're not a bitch nut.
Listen, I have met the biggest and the best. Betty Davis had an ego that nobody had. When I was in her company, I used to watch my P's and Q's, because if you offended her, she would let you have it.
Yeah.
Right?
And she's an Aries as well, isn't she?
The only one that I can honestly say was kind was my buddy Jane Russell.
Yeah.
And Sophia Loren. Sophia Loren was totally European, a lady, charming, engaging, warm.
Did you ever meet Joan Crawford?
What do you say?
Did you ever meet Joan Crawford?
No, but my sister did. My sister worked for Cinerama, which was a big motion picture company. And they said Joan Crawford's in the viewing room watching Cliff Robertson's movie, Autumn Leaves. And he said, go in and see if she needs anything. And my sister went in and said, Miss Crawford, would you like coffee? Oh, yes, thank you. She was so affected. My sister said, I couldn't get over it. She said to my sister, aren't you a darling? Aren't you a dear? I mean, carried on over a fucking cup of coffee. A simple thank you would have worked, but not Joan Crawford. She had to make a movie out of it. And so many people that I've met and I was disappointed in. Tab Hunter, wonderful, loved Tab, and I were friends for 40, 50 years. And he was just the kindest, sweetest, most down-to-earth, hot piece of ass I've ever known. He was sexy. You had to see him in person. I had lunch with him at Hamburger Mary's, and I couldn't even eat my food. I just kept looking at him. And he was like that's when he wrote his book. We were pushing his book. I interviewed him. The sexiest man of 80, whatever. And a wonderful person. I love it, Jeb.
Yeah.
So there's some good people in the business.
I've met some nice ones. I've had my favorite 4 that I've ever met, because I'm a horror movie guy. Lance Henriksen, you would know him from Aliens and Terminator. Lance Henriksen, Malcolm McDowell, Doug Bradley, who's Pinhead in all the Hellraiser movies, and Clive Barker, who's like writes all those Hellraiser movies and stuff like that. The 4 coolest, people I ever heard.
And I have to say though, just watching last week's show again, John Jarrett, he was he's such a cool guy.
Wasn't he cool? Like if he comes to California or anywhere where I am, that he's at a convention, I'm actually going to go to meet him because the guy we had on last week, he's saying, because he's a big fan, he's also a big fan of the guy we had on last week. He was such a nice guy, and I loved how he called people pommy cunts. And
and I love the way that he actually did the voice as well. And then
and he did the voices. I actually, Stefan Bell, who's a good friend of mine who works with me on my website, and he's actually cutting up the clips so we can have all those little clips to put out on social media.
Yeah, that's cool.
A lot of fun.
One, I spoke on the telephone with Doris Day, and I asked her to come on my show, set the record straight. And she was just so caring. Honey, I don't do interviews anymore. And I said, I bet if I were Barbara Walters, you'd do it. She said, no, don't say that, Ron. She said, no, I wouldn't even let Barbara Walters. She said, the audience knows me one way. I've grown older. I look different, but she was a mess and fat. So, of course, she didn't want to come on. Then, I have to say this, Rhonda fucking Fleming.
He won't know who that is. I don't really
Rhonda, well, she was a nobody piece of shit anyway. Rhonda Fleming, Jane Russell's good friend. I don't know how that happened. And Jane said, here's Rhonda's number, call her, and she'll come on your show. I called her. She said, who is this? I said, Ron Russell. Who are you? I said, I'm Jane Russell's friend. Why? What? How did you get this number? I said, Jane gave it to me. What for? I said, because I'd like you to come on my show. What show? Who are you? That's all she kept saying. I said, I have a talk show on television. I never heard of you. No, listen, I don't. No, tell Jane never to give my number out. I'm going to call Jane. Hung up. I hated that bitch. So I told
in that bag.
No, I called Jane up right away. I said, Jane, she's an animal. Jane said, oh, she was drinking.
So let's do a plug real quick because we've only got like a couple of minutes left. So next week, you guys, you're going to see Mark again. Mark has set up. If you guys remember, we did a show back to the 90s a couple of months ago. It was very, very well received. Everybody loved it. So now we're doing Back to the 90s Part 2. And Mark has worked out some great artists from the day to come on. Tell us who's coming on. Do you know off the top of your head?
We have Wigfield.
Yep.
We have Danielle from the Tempera.
Yep.
We have Catherine Ellis, who you're going to absolutely love, Ron. You're going to love her. And we have Espiritu, Vanessa. And we have me, and we have Alex Party.
Oh, Alex Party. He was on the last one. So Alex Party is the only one that we're bringing on again for this one. And I'm sure we'll be doing more of these because they were very well received. Yeah. We had a very good time doing it with everybody. So that's next week's show, you guys. I'll go over it again. Espiritu, Alex Party, Wigfield, Mark again, Danielle from the Tamperer. I didn't know it was Danielle from the Tamperer. I thought it was Danielle the Tamperer, so I kind of messed that up a little. And,
no. She's. I just say Danielle from the Tamperer. Well, she is the Tamperer, yeah.
And Catherine Ellis. And Catherine Ellis looks really cool, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun show, you guys. They've all got new music we're going to be playing while they're on the show. We'll be doing lots of fun and laughing and bullshitting around with them like we do with Mark. That's one reason why we love having him on.
I think the theme of the show should be men in Speedo bathing suits.
Yeah.
Well, I am on the
Do you know what a Speedo bathing suit is?
Yeah, I am on Zempic at the moment, so maybe I will come on a pair of Speedos just for you.
I think you should come on the show in a Speedo bathing suit. A very sheer one. This way I can tell what religion you are.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've got Jewish in me because I'm Schneider.
There you go.
What is that?
He said he thinks he has Jewish in you because he's Schneider.
You're not Jewish. You're. Oh, you
No,
are?
Schneider, Mark Rush Schneider.
No, Schneider is German.
Oh,
Well, thanks for that.
Could
Thanks,
be
Ron.
Jewish.
Thanks for making me a Nazi on that.
thanks for making me a Nazi.
No, but seriously, Schneider is a a German name, but there are Jews that are called Schneider.
Yeah.
So, well, if you wore a sheer Speedo, I could tell if you're circumcised or not, and that would determine whether you are.
I could just say.
You guys can also follow Mark on Instagram. He's at Mark Loverush 79. We ought to all wish you and Lee both well with the new puppy Summer, who's sleeping. She's adorable, and you should start teaching her to walk around the house on a leash, because walking on a leash is hard.
Yeah, we're gonna. She's eating. She's actually eating cucumber at the moment.
Now you have to wait for the day will come when your husband will say to you, "You should treat me as good as you treat that dog." They do that. They say
And
that.
I think Lee has a week off in October, so I'll try and get him on the show again.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun to bring him on. And I love him. He's fabulous.
I kiss Astro maybe 100 times a day. I'm not lying.
I know.
I'm constantly kissing Astro. And Jimmy said, "How come not me?" I said, "Because you're not 7 pounds of beauty."
You gotta love it. So Mark, we're gonna see you next week. Please make sure you send me everything we need for everybody.
Yes,
and
will do.
Looking forward to it. And thank you so much for coming in and filling in. We
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. All the best to Summer and Lee and you with the new family. And we'll see you next week. Good night.
Take care, Mark. You
Thanks.
look
Bye
wonderful.
bye.
I like the beard.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Back
Love you.
at
It's gonna
you.
be,
Bye
it's gonna
bye.
be bigger next week.
All right.
Don't let it grow long.
Don't let it
No,
get too long. Yeah.
Like
No.
this.
A bit
This is
more.
Nice
the
and
episode.
trim and beautiful. All right. Perfect.
Take care, baby.
Take
What a
care.
great guy. Love him. Bye-bye. He's just fabulous, you guys. So we're going to do a really quick music break, and that way we can show everybody 2/3 live at Wembley. This is I Want the World. So this is Lee Thomas, Mark's husband, and he used to be the lead singer for a band called 2/3, and this is them playing live at Wembley, and then we're going to come back with our next guest, David Martinez. So take it away, Juan. Oh, shit. That's 2/3, you guys. Lee Thomas, that's Mark's husband. And now we're going to bring on our next guest. So let's bring on David Martinez.
Hey guys.
Yay!
I was excited. And Ron and Jimmy, this shirt right here, I wore it just for you guys, man.
Good.
What is
Yeah,
that?
He said he wore the shirt just for us guys. Hold on, let me do an intro for you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, multi-award-winning indie music artist, David Martinez. Hello, and welcome back to the show.
Yeah, it's been a while. Thanks for having me. Like I said,
yes.
I wore the shirt just for you guys.
I believe it because I always see you in T-shirts.
You have to excuse me for 5 minutes. I have to go water the lily.
Okay, you go water the lily. Right.
I'm 85 years old. All we do is pee every 10 minutes.
It's funny because
Terrible.
we both had knee surgery and we're both having all kinds of complications from it. And that's and so he's just going, and that's okay because we can catch up. So how long has it been since you were on the show? We lived in Pennsylvania, so it has to be like 8 years ago or something.
Yeah, something like that. But probably, I was at my old house, so it had to be like 7 or 8 years ago. But it was a lot of fun. We had a great time.
I know we had a great time, and lots of things have changed for you since then. Because when you were on 8 years, first of all, before we go, say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, everybody in the chat room.
There you go, and also say hi. We want to say hi to Cindy Lady Lake because Cindy Lady Lake set this up for us, and she's fabulous.
Yeah, I always. Hi, Cindy. We also had a great conversation this morning. Always great talking to her. And Cindy, thank you. And Jimmy, thank you. And Ron, thank you.
No, she's fabulous. So I think the biggest thing that changed, I mean, obviously you're older, but you're married now, and you weren't married when you were on before. So congratulations.
No, I think I might have been single, or I might have been going through something and through I know, all I know is I met my wife, and we're I guess people tell us you're the same person. I'm sure they tell you and Ron that you're the same person.
Oh, I don't know if they tell me that or not. So I
Yeah.
used to be pretty like wild and obnoxious, and I used to wear clothes that said "fuck me, I'm famous," and I had earrings and long hair. So I've actually, in my older age, since I met Ron, I used to be a wild clothing kind of person, and now I'm kind of like pretty Ralph Lauren. I pretty much wear Ralph Lauren everywhere. But also it's because I'm older, and also I'm trying to be more of a business person, you know, and you really can't wear.
I see you in action, and you know what? One thing there's in my music room office, my wife has this calendar up, and it says, "You got this shit," and it reminds me of Jimmy Star is a shit.
Yes, Jimmy Star is the shit, which is one of my favorite videos. I was even thinking about relaunching that again. Ron doesn't really like it because he thinks the shit is not good. I like it.
Yeah.
You know, because he thinks it's more like Jimmy Star is shit, but he doesn't get it. The changes the whole meaning of everything.
Which means you're the creme of the crop.
That's right. The creme de la creme. So you're in Texas. Where in Texas are you? Tell everybody where you are.
I am in Corpus Christi, Texas, where I've always been, and I just play music around here a lot and record out here in the area. And as you know, before I recorded out in Los Angeles, and I've done a song in Nashville, and toured the country. But I've gotten out some since 2020, but I'd like to get to the level I was before the pandemic, because I know how it threw all of us off.
Yeah, it really messed things up a lot for everybody, not just, you know, I think it messed in the movie business, it messed things up. For performing, it messed things up. How do you like living? So have you always lived in Texas?
Yes, sir. I've always lived out here in Corpus Christi, Texas. And the thing about having this shirt, we're by the beach. So I've always lived down here, and you know, it's a hop and a skip away from Austin. So, and then,
Austin,
you know,
great though. Austin's supposed to be a great place to live, and that's where South by Southwest is, right?
yes, sir. And we have and we get to meet a lot of people that are in the industry.
Where do you live?
Corpus Christi, Texas, which is near Austin, Texas.
I've been there, Corpus Christi. I went through it. I drove through it. I think there's a highway to New York goes through Corpus Christi. Anyway, move on.
So wait, where's the Alamo? Where's the Alamo? Because I've been to the Alamo.
The Alamo.
That's at San Antonio. It's about 2 hours. And then go a little further up north, and there's Austin. So, and then there's also, well, they just had the floods out there, but the Hill Country is a place where there's a really big scene growing, because a lot of people are moving. It's kind of expensive to live in Austin, so a lot of people are moving outside of Austin into the Hill Country area, Fredericksburg, Texas. That's where they just had the floods, but for the most part, that's where a lot of the it's moving outwards. I know a few people who moved their studios out of Austin and just gone in the country. So
how far have you ever heard of Pilot Point, Texas?
I never have, but
Okay. I don't know where it is. I just we're going to be shooting a movie next year, a werewolf movie in Pilot Point, Texas, and a good friend of mine lives there, and we have another friend. Where does oh my God, Mark Baca and his wife. We have a friend who has a stunt ranch in Texas someplace. I'm not exactly sure where. And he's probably going to do some of the stunt stuff on it. But we're going to Pilot Point, Texas, which is a little shitty nothing town from what I understand. But the other guy, one of the other producers of it, lives there, and he's on this. He's like works for the city, and the city's going to work with us, you know, to give us good deals to shoot everything.
What's
there.
fascinating about Texas, you drive through it for 12 hours. It's 12 hours. I'm serious.
No, I know. I've done it.
Because I drive cross country a lot, and every time I get into Texas, I go, shit, boring, flat, no, nothing for miles and miles and miles. 12 hours of nothing. Because you avoid the cities because of traffic.
I was
Well,
up in
Texas-
Massachusetts. I was on tour. I was up in Massachusetts one time, and I went to a store, and the girl goes, "Well, there's an Apple store in New Hampshire," and I told her, "I'm not driving all the way to New Hampshire." She goes, "It's 8 minutes down the road." I'm like,
Yeah, nothing like it is in Texas. Everything's a long way in California too, where we are.
No,
Yeah,
but Texas cities are beautiful. Houston is a beautiful city.
You
Yeah,
play though
Corpus-
all the time in Corpus
Yeah.
Christi, though, right? You're like
Well,
all the time.
Corpus Christi's like we're famous for Freddie Fender, Selena, and Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, Farrah Fawcett is from Corpus Christi.
Yes, she went to the same high school I did, and then Dabney Coleman, he went to a school called Miller High School here in Corpus Christi.
So Ron knew Farrah Fawcett because he was on a bunch of episodes of Charlie's
No,
Angels.
no, don't say I was on a bunch.
You were on more than one.
One.
Oh, you're only on one?
Only on one.
Okay, Ron was on an episode of Charlie's Angels.
Corpus Christi in Italian means the body of Christ.
Yes.
Corpo di Cristo. I believe it's Spanish as well. Is it not in Spanish? Corpus Christi?
Yeah, I think it's Corpus Spanish Corpus Christi.
Same thing. The body of Christ. Interesting.
And have you ever seen the movie The Legend of Billie Jean?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite all-time movies.
That was shot here.
Legend of Billie Jean. Oh, was it really?
Yes.
I actually have that. Legend of Billie Jean. Helen Slater, Christian Slater.
Peter Wolf.
Right is right or something. I don't know what are they. I think that's the slogan. They say right is right. What a great movie. It's got the girl who does all the voices of the Simpsons on it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I forgot who else was in that, but what a great movie though. And I've met Helen Slater a couple of times.
My
but that's
brother
one of my all-time 80s favorite 80s movies.
Yeah, my brother got to meet her at a Comic-Con, and then my friend said he used to work a newsstand out there in Los Angeles back in the late 90s, and he said he met Christian Slater, and he goes, "Oh, you shot in Corpus Christi." He goes, "Where's that?"
Well, he was a little kid then, though. So
yeah, I know. And he's done so much, you know.
Everybody should see that movie, though. If you want a really good 80s movie, it's called The Legend of Billie Jean, and the guy who's the bad guy in it, who ripped her off or whatever, he was in I don't know his name, but he's in a million movies because we watch a lot of movies from the 80s, and I always see him popping up in movies all the time.
Well, they shot some scenes. There's a place called the Sunrise Mall, but since they've torn it down since, and my aunt used to work out there. She went and had dinner with him a couple of times when he was shooting out here, but then he goes, "Well, I got to leave now."
That's just cool, though. I just love it. I think it's a great movie. All right, so let's brag for you a little bit, you guys. David is so first of all, how many instruments do you play? Do you play guitar? Do you play any other instruments? Because you have a lot of guitars.
I play a little piano. I play a little. It's called a cajon. Like you sit down. It's like a drum, like a little drum. You sit in it, play, and you play a little percussion on it. But I mean, my main thing is guitar and writing. That's what I basically do.
All right, so singer-songwriter, you guys. He was the Artist of the Year on Independent Corner with DJ Daniel Haight on Indie 104 FM. He's one of the most in-demand musicians in South Texas. I took this description off your website, but it says your music is a soulful, refreshing mix of Jack Johnson's laid-back lyrics stirred into a glass of Lenny Kravitz funk. So I've met Lenny Kravitz a bunch of times. I've never met Jack Johnson. But I do think, because we've been playing a couple of your songs, we played Fast and Hard, which we're going to play today, and we're going to play your new song, Here to Stay. But I think your music is fabulous, and as an independent artist, it's amazing what you do. You guys can follow David on Instagram. He's David Martinez Music. Martinez has a Z in it. So let's talk a little bit about the brand new song. First of all, how many? Not a lot of people have heard this new song yet, right?
No, nobody. I mean, just my close quarters. You guys are premiering it.
I'm perfect. I love that. So the name of the song, the new song, is Here to Stay. I've listened to it like 20 times. One thing I found very different of it is that there's a lot of instruments in this song. So tell us a little bit about Here to Stay.
Well, we've been listening to a band called Lake Street Dive, and my wife was all like, we were walking. She's like, I think you should write a song with horns in it. I go, man, I got an idea, but I said, I've been thinking about that because I do have a Lenny Kravitz type song, but we're going to release it next year. And I kind of just, I went dun 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 dun, and I just recorded it. I came home and I wrote it. So the guy I work with, and it's a little town outside of Corpus called Skidmore, Texas. I've been working with Mason Shirley out of Sound Machine, and I basically wrote it and came up with a demo and just wrote some skeleton lyrics, and we built from it on there. And then I got a co-writer named Rick Hofield, who a former LA native. He came out here to Corpus Christi to retire because the houses are cheaper, and he's by the water. Anyway, we just kind of came up with lyrics, and just went back and forth. And when I went in to work with Mason, I said, man, I'd like to hear this be a horn-driven song. And so when we charted it out, we went through it. We went through a bunch of ideas. We were there a couple hours just working it out, and we finally got a demo done. And it all worked out. It was funny how it worked out, because we had the demo done. We started doing the instrumentation. So I came in. It was like a Monday or Tuesday. I came in the drummer came in the morning. I came in the afternoon, and then the horn section came in the evening. And then that's where it all started coming together.
But don't even do it all at the same time. Everybody does their own little part, and then they put it all together.
Yeah, some people shoot. Some people do the whole band thing, which for me, I don't have a full band all the time. So I just who's the guy from ELO? Jeff Lynne. He was one of the pioneers, and just when Tom Petty went in to work with him, they would do a demo, and then they would build on that demo with drums and bass, guitars, and whatever else they added in.
So wait, when you go play, like let's say because I know you have residencies and you play all over the place. Do you play? Is it pretty much just you, a microphone, and a guitar, or do you have a band? Or do you pretty much just you solo?
It's just me solo now for the most part. Sometimes I'll put a band. I have guys that I call and go, you want to do a show together, and we'll play a band show. But I do a lot of acoustic, and what I've learned is it's about fun and entertainment and having a great time. So I get the crowd involved, and we sing, and then I teach them lyrics to my song. We sing along, and everybody's just having a good time. So
well, it has to work. It has to work because you're playing all over the place. All right, so I want to do the world premiere. So Juan, we're gonna do Here to Stay. I'm gonna introduce it instead of you because I'm gonna give it a big fun build up. So all right, everybody. Now we have David Martinez on the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. This is the world premiere of his brand new song, Here to Stay. It is a fucking kick-ass song. You guys are going to love it. Take it away, Juan. Here's Here to Stay by David Martinez.
Wasn't easy, trying hard to find my way. Dreams were dying, hopes slipping away. You reached out, my whole world changed. You're the best decision ever made. Maybe love, maybe fate. I'm here to stay. Look up to the sky, each day is more bright. You're the reason stars align, never lose sight. It's our time, maybe love, maybe fate. I'm here to stay on track. Stay true to our dreams. I'm here
love it. It's freaking awesome. I love all the extra instrumentation. It's very different than most of the other music that I've heard from you, and it's got such a great hook, and it's like very sing-alongable, which I like, because I like to drive down the road singing.
It's very alive.
You know, I grew up listening to Chicago as a kid. My dad had all the 8-tracks, and I don't know, I just always loved the horns. And then when I was like high school, college, you know, it was the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, bands like that. But I also like.
That's what it kind of reminds me of a little bit, though. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, or a little bit like what's the name of that band? There's like an Australian band that I liked a lot. It was really popular. I don't know, for me when I was a kid, but it didn't seem like anybody knows them. And now I can't think of who they were. So fuck it, forget it. I think it's very it's a very fun sing-along, drive down the road song, and that's what I actually like, because I love to drive down the road and play music loud and just sing along to it.
It's happy.
Very happy.
And we need happy today, and it's very happy.
Yes, absolutely, I agree, and that was.
When I saw you, I was dancing. Well, I mean, singing, but my feet were going. You can't help it. The music makes you want to, you got to get in there, do it.
So I think that was very smart for you to incorporate some different things. You know, it shows that you have a unique sound. It also just shows that you have, you're not like a one-trick pony, and you can do a lot of different things. Because we played another song of yours around Christmas time, I think. It was more of like a ballad singer-songwriter song. And then we played Fast and Hard, because I think Fast and Hard is like one of the greatest songs ever. And I think actually we should play that so we can let people hear the difference. So was Fast and Hard, was that your last single, or that's a single from a while ago?
No, that was a single from a while back. I've had a couple more. I even did a Christmas song called Christmas in Corpus Christi, but
we played that. Well,
yeah, that's right.
You weren't here, but we played that.
I wasn't there. Yeah, Cindy told me about that. I can't keep up with. Jimmy played this song, Jimmy, and I was like, I remember. I'm so thankful, and I think, but no, Fast and Hard was kind of interesting, because I had written an idea. Like I thought, I was thinking Rick Springfield, and I was just like, so when I went in, my co-writer, I sent them some lyrics, and he goes, I said, I'm thinking Rick Springfield. And so when I went in, he had written some stuff about Springsteen, and he goes, I got this idea for a Springsteen song. The idea for a Springsteen song. I go, Springsteen? I said Springfield. So I said, let me see. I said, let me see what you got. And I go, okay, we'll layer it like somebody felt these two people fell in love at a Springsteen concert, and they're still together. And so like when it says we fell fast and we fell hard, we were dancing in the dark. I said, let's use the song titles. And we were dancing.
That's smart.
We were Blinded by the Light. He did write Blinded by the Light. Turn Me On, I'm on Fire. That's another song.
Wait, who wrote Blinded by the Light? Like
Rick Springfield actually. I mean, Bruce Springsteen actually wrote it.
I didn't know that, because we actually had Manfred Mann, right? Sing Blinded by the Light.
Yes.
We had the girl, Olivia Diabo, and her father is Manfred Mann.
Yes. Yeah.
We had her on the show, and I was like, holy shit. Which was a surprise, because I didn't know that when she came on. And we, so my partner, Eileen Shapiro, she's interviewed Rick Springfield like 10 times. And the keyboardist for Rick Springfield lives here in Palm Springs. We know him casually. And I love Rick Springfield. I went and saw him on tour for Living in Oz, the Living in Oz tour. So I'm a big Rick Springfield fan in general. So Fast and Hard. So we're going to play it, but this time I'm going to let you introduce this one, because it's not a world premiere and we've played it before. Just introduce it, say who you are. This is your song. We're going to play it, and then we'll be back. And Juan, we're going to play David Martinez, Fast and Hard. All right, introduce it.
All right, you listen to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. My name is David Martinez, and this is my song, Fast and Hard.
Good.
On our feet when the music began, singing along, clapping our hands, swaying around and doing our dance. You and I were there, drinking wine, Springsteen concert, hot summer night, in mini skirt with your low neckline. When the music ended, we sat, talked for a while, and we laughed. I knew I had to take a chance before I could use my best line. You already knew what was on my mind. It's either your place or mine. We fell fast and we fell hard. We were dancing in the dark. We were blinded by the light. Turn me on, I'm on fire. Too hungry, I fell fast. Fast and hard. Oh baby, we fell fast and we fell hard. Wild child, you were born to run. These glory days are far from done. We fell fast and we fell hard. We were dancing in the dark. We were blinded by the light. Turn me on, I'm on fire. Too hungry, I fell fast, fell fast, fell fast. We fell fast, we fell hard. We were dancing in the dark. We were blinded by the light. Turn me on, I'm on fire. Too hungry, I fell fast. Fast and hard.
I freaking love it. I have to tell you, now that we've talked about the song, because the beginning of it totally reminds me of something that Rick Springfield might do. And then the talking 3/4 of the way through, that's something Bruce Springsteen would do. And with all the lines in the song, you know, I get all the references now. It makes me love the song even more. And I've loved it before that. But I love all the pop culture references to both of them that are in there.
Well, when I record a song, what I do is I send my producer Mason Shirley. I send him like a few songs that, you know, and kind of the aesthetic I'm looking for. And with Bruce Springsteen, he listened to a lot of it and he said it really sounds, because in the 80s he had a really sonic sound the way you hear it on this track, and we kind of just went for that. And then we were thinking like Clarence Clemens type saxophone. And
Yep.
the guy who played saxophone, his name's Bobby Salazar, is great. He also did saxophone. He was a saxophone player on the other song, Here to Stay. So it's great working with him.
I was a huge fan of Bruce Springsteen in the 80s. I didn't really like the newer stuff, but like Born to Run to me is one of the best albums ever, and so is The River. So I know all the songs and all the words to all the songs for all the songs from the 80s, and I think he's fabulous. And I want to tell everybody too, you guys, if you want to find out where David's playing, because like he has a list of like places, but he plays like every freaking night practically. So you want to go check out his Instagram, and his Instagram is at David Martinez Music, DavidMartinez Music. And you can see where he's playing, because he basically plays like a lot, 3 or 4 nights a week throughout Corpus Christi. Primarily, do you stay in Corpus Christi?
For right now, I have been, but I do plan on getting back out to certain areas of Texas. Now, one of the last shows I played out of state was Cindy had a showcase in Boston at the City Winery, and that was before the pandemic. And we had a plan to like maybe tour a few of the city wineries, because there's a few of them around the East Coast, and I got to get back on it to where, you know, I'm because my wife, she traveled with me when I would go play shows out of town. So I said we just got to get back to that, and we took a couple of trips, and I played in New Braunfels, Texas. It's in the middle of San Antonio and Austin, and there's a historic district called Green, Texas. It's a district called Green, and they have the Green Hall, the oldest honky tonk, where people like George Strait got their start, and Waylon Jennings, and so I went and played out there. So I got my foot in the door, back in the door now. And as you know, with with entertainment business, like the heads who do things, it changes all the time.
All the time, everything changes. You also like in Boston, isn't that where Lori and Fred? Do they live in Boston or no?
Yes, we did a show together up there, and it was
love it. So you know Lori and Fred. Remember when they got proposed? He proposed to her. We have to have them come back on in the fall sometime, just because they're fabulous. And
I'm with them on Facebook.
Yes, we love them.
Yes.
So tell me, who are some of your like, I don't know if I want to say idols, people you looked up to when you were like growing up, and you're like, I think I'm going to be a musician. I want to be a rock star. Like who did you listen to a lot, or who was kind of like someone that you looked up to?
Well, I was about maybe 2 or 3. It all started with Kiss.
Oh, me too.
I saw that, and my dad, he listened to like people like Ted Nugent, and I would see him fly from the ceiling, and I always liked that. I mean, I'm not one to sit on a stool and just play, here's my song, I'm going to play my song. I always liked, just being excitable like that. And then my grandmother and my mom, they got me into Elvis Presley and the Beatles and the Stones.
I didn't like Elvis Presley, but I like the Beatles and I like the Stones. I don't like all of the Stones. I tell you, I used to have a clothing store in Fort Lauderdale, and there was a coffee shop next door, and Ted Nugent used to go in there all the time. So we used to talk to Ted Nugent back in the day. I guess this would have been in the late 90s, like 1998 or something like that. But Ted Nugent was cool. It's funny because you're not really that hard of your music's not really that rocky as like a Kiss or a Ted Nugent.
I grew up. When I started playing guitar, that's all I wanted to do, and I was learning all the Metallica riffs and the Jimi Hendrix riffs, Led Zeppelin riffs, and playing everything like that. And it's just, and then it was like I started writing, so I started listening to more like James Taylor and
love James Taylor. That's
James
just
Taylor.
fabulous.
Jackson Brown. We named our dog after Jackson Brown because he's brown. And
what kind of dog do you have? We love dogs.
Corgi Jack Russell.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
What is it?
Corgi Jack Russell.
AKA Kojaks.
Yes.
Kojaks. So, yeah, my mother told me one time, she said, I knew you were going to want to play music. You were going to play music. She said, there was a song from the Little River Band called Lady, which is also one of my wife's favorite songs. And she said you would sing the song, and then you would, when he went into Lady, you would slide on the floor with your little stick that was your microphone and say, Lady, and won't you take a look at me now? And it's like,
I love it.
And I love David Bowie too. I mean, I would listen to David Bowie,
too.
And my dad guy was in a lot of progressive rock like Styx and Rush, and it was
like all of that.
Just a bunch.
Styx, Rush, REO Speedwagon.
See, when I started coming up, it was like it was the hair metal scene. So it was like Motley Crue, Twisted Sister, Guns N' Roses, Poison. All those bands were coming around. And then when I got to high school, Seattle hit. So you had Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana, and Alice in Chains, and it went down the line. But you know what really shaped me more was when the bands like Matchbox 20 and Train and
that's what I identify you more with, like a Matchbox 20, a Train, those kind of like bands like that. Which Rob Thomas used to live in Fort Lauderdale, so we used to see him a lot. And the guys from Train follow me on. But I tried to get him on, and I tried to get Pat Monahan to come on the show, but he hasn't responded. And but that's what I really identify you more with, is that kind of music. But also talking about all these different generations of music makes me really realize that I'm fucking old.
I could have told
You
you.
know,
that.
Nirvana, Kiss. I mean, I collect action figures, so I have the set of the 4 18-inch Kiss figures that are standing on like these little rock mountains, and you push it, and each one, plays a different song based on whatever song they sang. And so I think Kiss is like iconic. Nirvana was like iconic.
Mhm.
I also went through a big stage of music with like New Order and Depeche Mode and those kind of bands. Morrissey.
I loved all that too. It was, I mean, I was never one. I remember we would I'd go see a lot of punk shows, and the punk rockers, like, they hated everything except the punk music, and I'm just like,
Right.
I want to absorb everything. You know what I mean? I want to listen. And it was I met this one guy one time up in Austin, and he said, if it's a good song, it's a good song. That song
right.
that song y'all played before I came on, it's kind of like, you could take that song, you could do an acoustic version of it, you could do a disco version of it, or the way they were doing it, and just, I mean, the way you can present a song any way you want. But that was, I really dug that, because I really like when bands are really, when he's into it, he's on the chair. And
Yes. And actually, that's that reminded me of Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
He loves Frankie Goes to Hollywood. So let me ask you a question. We only have 2 minutes, but like, do you know who Johnny Mathis is?
Yes, I know who he is.
That's his favorite singer.
Yeah.
In my day, the concerts were the Copacabana nightclub in New York and Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Yeah.
That's what our big deal was. So
But Johnny Mathis is the end all be all. We have like every Johnny Mathis album in this house.
Well, there was my wife, real quick. My wife used to work. She works in hotels, but she used to work at a retirement community. And I was putting a set list together, and I started singing this song: "Pistol packing mama, lay that pistol down. Pistol packing mama." She goes, "I don't think you can really sing that song to them." I go,
Pistol packing mama.
and they were just, so I extended it for like 3-4 minutes, and they were just. And she goes, "Oh, they really love that song." I go, "Bing Crosby." I go, and it's a big hit. But my grandmother, she got me into all that stuff too. Like I can't even tell you like what I listened to. It's just like,
I love it. So you guys, this is David Martinez. Fast and Hard is out now. When is Here to Stay? Did you have a release date for Here to Stay yet, or no?
not. Sorry about that. Somebody was knocking on my door. I think we're gonna do it here within the next 2 weeks. So it's probably, I'm shooting for next weekend, but
so we'll let everybody know. We'll let everybody know when it's available for you guys to stream, since I've got it and you don't.
Yes. We wanted you to have it first.
There you go. I love it. So we want to thank Cindy, Lady Lake Music, for setting this up. I'm so happy your life is going well, since it's been like 7 or 8 years since you were on the show the last time. We lived in Pennsylvania. I want to congratulate you on your wedding. Oh, there you go. Love dogs.
Oh, shoot, what a sweetheart.
That's
Hey,
adorable.
baby.
His dog's name is Jackson. Jackson. Hey, Jackson.
Hey, hi.
So everybody follow David Martinez Music on Instagram. We want to thank you for coming on the show. Congratulations on all your success, and we look forward to more great music.
Thank you, and much success to you too. I know you're making, you guys are making stuff happen. I love you guys, and I hope to be back soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, David. Good show.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, and thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Jimmy,
This is MC Alfred.
and Ozzy.
I'm just chilling, in the style, sitting down and designing. Where every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfred, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out.